Hey citizens, I love this time of year because we talk about not only the freedoms we enjoy, but we can also reflect upon the great people, great men and women who helped found this country, and for the great inventions and development that they created that make us a world leader in the innovation that we have. You know, one of those great inventors that we're all familiar with is Thomas Edison. And you all know the story of Thomas Edison, and in 1879, when he patented the light bulb, could we have even imagined the impact that harnessing of electrical power could have meant to us today? So much of our life is involved with power and the benefits that power brings to our life. You know, and throughout that time that first light bulb was developed to today, there have been so many innovations with regards to electrical power. From the 30s, when we had the Rural Electrification Act, to the 40s and 50s when we built big hydro dams, to the 60s and 70s, the beginning of the atomic age with electrical power. We have just been great beneficiaries of this. I'm actually standing here in what is Washington City's generation plant that produces some of the power that you all consume today. You know, we're grateful for those early inventors and pioneers who had great vision and courage in making the decision they did. Washington City, in a small way, also had great vision and courage. In 1986, we chose to purchase the power system from then Utah Power and Light. At the time, the rates were high and the reliability was low. And as a matter of fact, let me give you just a point of trivia, that our power rates today are only 0.2 of a cent higher than they were in 1986 when we purchased the power system. So we're pretty proud of the vision of our forefathers here in Washington and the courage they showed in providing this 32 years of public power here in our community. You know, we continue to look forward to providing you reliable and competitive power, and in all of that it requires us to have courage and vision as we look to the future. And in nothing is it more indicative than in a project that we're working on right now with the investment of a small modular nuclear reactors. Now, what a small modular nuclear reactor is a very small nuclear facility, if you will, very small, on the same level as you might be familiar with the U.S. Navy has used in their aircraft carriers and in their submarines for decades. These small modular nuclear reactors have begun to develop in such a way that Washington City is beginning to invest in that project. With our immediate partners of the Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems and our larger partners of the Department of Energy and NuScale Corporation, we are in the process of developing a 720 megawatt small modular nuclear reactor facility at the Idaho National Laboratory in Idaho. We are all familiar with the large nuclear plants that we've had around the country, and we've actually received a great deal of resources as a country from those plants. The world actually relies more upon nuclear power. But as I mentioned, small modular nuclear reactors are a much smaller package, and for that reason they have a number of benefits. The first benefit, of course, is that the power is scalable, which means that you can add additional units, turn on additional units, reduce additional units to deal with the power demands that are on the system at the time, something that you can't with large nuclear reactors. It provides a baseload power for us. As Washington City continues to grow, we not only have a need for peaking power, but also baseload power to take care of our everyday needs. And this provides that baseload, especially since it is a scalable product. And this baseload is important to have because we're replacing what has historically been our baseload, which is a strong carbon-based power supply, which is our coal and gas. And by replacing those older, more carbon-needed products, we will help our environment and have a more sustainable energy for the future. It's cost competitive because of its size, these small modular nuclears. And probably last, but certainly not least, is it is much safer. The technology and patents that have come into these small modular nuclear reactors, which we're building or will be building in Idaho, come from Oregon State University and meet the highest safety standards In fact, the Department of Energy has just signed off on those safety standards, which include, among other things, that there is no need for human involvement in the event of an emergency shutdown, that there is no need for AC or DC power, and that there is no need for additional water. All the elements that are necessary to make a shutdown even more safe than they currently have been. Now, I talked about the fact that this is a 720 megawatt system. Washington City is just a very small part of that with 11 megawatts. But we're excited about what this will bring to us in the future and our ability to secure more and more resources as this technology proves out. We are in the licensing phase of this project, which takes some time, and hope to be online with this at around 2026. So as you can see, it's a process that still takes some time to develop. This is just one of the resources. This nuclear resource is only one of the many resources that Washington City uses to provide power to our customers. We also include within our portfolio hydro and wind and solar and gas. And this is just one that we're excited about in the future that I wanted to share with you, that as Washington City looks forward to the future with courage and vision, that we will continue to develop so that our citizens may continue to receive safe, reliable, competitive-based power. I'm going to be adding some links to the end of this video for those of you who might have an interest in pursuing this a little further and getting additional knowledge with respect to this. But again, thank you for the time that you've taken to spend with me to talk about this very exciting project of ours, and thank you for being such great citizens.